Okay, so here we are with the booth set up. I'm just going to step through everything that I have on the table. Normally at a show, a lot of times it's outside. We have an easy up tent. That's a 10 by 10. You can buy those at about Sam's Club. And I have about 4 booths to sell all my stuff. We've got just a 4-foot by 2-foot plastic table. So this is just kind of the standard ones. Again, you can get them at Costco or Sam's Club. We got a table cover on here, just a simple black that I bought on Amazon. Just sort of starting on this side, I like to show the wood as I'm cutting it, and I know some of you don't, you're buying the wood so you don't have this. But starting with the wood blank, you'll get a lot of questions about, well, how does this work? It's 2 pieces. How did you get the wood onto the metal? How did you do that? And you'll need to be able to step through that. So I've got a red moly piece of wood here with a blank. I've got a bangle stand with some finished bangles on here. I've got some pins. You'll have your other turned items laid out. I've got an emboina, my 2-tone emboina burl. I've got just a regular core I can describe to the folks. I always sit it right behind here, and when they come up and say, how did you get the wood onto the metal? I don't understand. Then you can explain to them the process, what you go through to get the pieces mated together. Again, I said earlier, the choya bangle is one of my best sellers. I think it would be one of your best sellers. So I've got a bangle stand you can buy on my website, and then a piece of choya. Again, some more bangle stands. I've got my business cards spread out. So these business cards would be placed throughout the booth in various locations. I have my little gift boxes. What you're not seeing, I have a knuckle buster for running credit cards. You really should take credit cards. You can get set up with propay.com. You can get the Square. So it's good to get a knuckle buster or the little Square on your smartphone. I've got this banner stand, and I got it at this location on the web. Really inexpensive, I think, for what it does for your booth. The level of professionalism that it gives your booth, it's worth the money. Showing all of some of the items that you make, you can get a couple of these. Really sets it off well. And another important point is that everything is already priced. So we just have this little label printer. We print out the pricing with a sticker. We put it on the inside. People really don't want to have to ask, how much is this? How much is this? If they have to ask, they probably will just move on. I've got a bar height stool. So I'm about 6'1". Again, most of the sales we're making here are to women. And I've just noticed, so I've worked in the booth with my wife, again, for 8 years selling her jewelry. And I've noticed a lot of times if I stand up and start walking, the customers start leaving. Because I think it's just the male thing, maybe my size, I'm not sure. So a lot of times I'll stay seated on this stool, this bar height stool. It's not a lounge chair or I'm not sitting back in the back of the booth on a chair, bored. I'm really trying to engage the customer. Sitting like this, they'll walk up, I'll start describing my product, what I do, and when we're getting ready to try it on, then I'll stand up and I'll give it to them and start describing what it is. I'm just going to do a little mock run here on what I do during the show, and this is just kind of an example of how I talk to the customers. Hi, are you enjoying the show today? I'm a wood turner, and I turn different types of products, pens and bangles. So, like for instance, this is a choya cactus from Arizona, and it has a resin-filled pores and different colored resins I can put inside of there. This is Amboina burl, which is a really exotic wood. And I start with a 2-piece core like this and a wood blank, and then I'll cut the inside, I'll cut the width, and then I'll glue these together. And then once it's set, then I come and I'll turn this shape on here and put a nice finish. I sell 5 different sizes and in 2 types of metal. Stainless steel, this is 316 stainless, so it's hypoallergenic, and then pure copper, just for different looks. And is there one that you like here with this nice spalted maple maybe? So that's a 7.5. No, that won't fit. Okay. So here's a size 8. Let's just try that on. So that fits perfect. Okay. So I can make any type wood that you see here on any size. Again, this was a 7.5 and that's an 8. So if you find a piece of wood that you like and on a size that you copper or stainless, I can mix and match and make something. I have my business card, and so you can just keep looking around and let me know if you like something. So this is what not to do. Sit in a chair in the back of your booth, have your baseball cap on, no table cover, you've got your stuff just 2-dimensionally laid out. If you have any questions, just let me know. Well, that is exactly what will happen if you don't help the customer buy something. So let's talk about what's wrong here. I'm sitting down, I'm tired because it's been a long day. I don't want to give up. I haven't sold much because I'm really putting off the sort of this aura that I really don't want to be here. I got my hat on, my arms crossed, it's very withdrawn. I'm not inviting anybody in, I'm not dressed for success, I'm not selling myself, I'm not describing what's on the, what is this mishmash, we see this all the time. My wife makes baskets, I do photography, well, I carved this sign, I do a little wood turning. There's no common, the theme is we make a bunch of stuff. I got my soda can here. Just not a very uniform theme, and really to have successful shows, you need to stick with one common theme throughout your whole thing. We're not doing baskets and jewelry and signs and photography. We want to stick with just one thing. If you got multiple items, at least get them on different tables, so that people don't get confused. This stuff's all mixed together. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at jewelry or signs. What is it that you do? One other thing that we didn't say, we also run craft fairs. And we've run one for the last 3 years. It's the largest holiday craft fair in our local region. There's a couple thousand people that show up, and so we really understand this stuff, and we see this all the time when people apply for shows. They send us photos and say, send 3 photos. Well, they send a picture of a sign, a photograph, and a bangle. And we can't figure out, well, who are these people? because we're judging this, and we can only have so many people who make jewelry, so many photographers, so many sort of holiday craft stuff, and you're going to put in this category, and yet we really don't know what this person does. And you really, when you're applying for craft shows, you need to get this professional photographs of your work, and we talked about that in video 9, and print those out. Don't print them on paper, print them in good photo paper. Send them in an envelope, don't fold them in half. You know, this is, you're going for maximizing your dollar earnings, and you really need to be as professional as you can to get into the best shows, and when you're there, really put yourself out. You do that, you're going to be very successful, you're going to make lots of money, and that's really what this is all about. Your success is my success. Your failure is my failure. And what I'm trying to do here is get you to the point where you can be successful, you can be selling these things. And when you're selling these and you're buying more metal cores and wood from me, it's a win-win for both of us. So I hope you've learned something from this video about how to set up your booths, what you're really trying to get across. You're the artist, you're selling yourself. Put yourself out. I understand, I'm a shy guy. You've watched me, I'm not that charismatic. You really have to dig deep and find that charisma inside me to selling these things. And if you do that, you can make money. I promise you, you'll make beautiful product, you'll be able to sell it. So best of luck.